There's an Airtime machine in Central Texas full of intensity and unrelenting pacing and speed that shouldn't be underestimated. I'm talking about Wonder Woman Golden Lasso coaster at Six Flags Fiesta, Texas. Picture this. You're caught in her iconic lasso of truth, compelled to confess the facts. So let's spit out some truth. This coaster is elite. It holds its own alongside the best RMC coasters in the world, and that's saying something. Let's take a deep, airtime dive on what makes Wonder Woman Lasso Coaster special. Did you know that Wonder Woman's Golden Lasso Coaster is sitting on top of sacred cinematic history? This ride sits on top of the site of the former shoot-to-shoot attraction named Power Splash that was featured on the critically acclaimed and award-winning movie Blank Check. Okay, so exaggerations aside, this tidbit reinforces that this coaster sits on a small footprint. It makes quite the punch with so little space within the park. Rocky Mountain Construction even advertises this Raptor track model by stating, Raptor coasters offer exceptional value by using less steel and reducing installation time. What's more, they come in a surprisingly compact footprint or can be customized to suit your park's needs. The top speed here is 52 miles per hour, but when you compact everything together in this small footprint, it feels so much faster. The pacing is up there with the best, offering no moments to catch your breath once you've descended the first drop. So let's start with that first drop. In the front seat, there's some hang time as you slowly start to descend a 90-degree drop, but the back seat is where you want to be. You're thrust into your shoulder restraints as it tries to whip you out of your seat. After the strong forces at the bottom, you're thrown into a dive loop, which also offers some ejector air at its crest. Following this element is perhaps the strongest moment of airtime on its S-hill. Ejector airtime on this hill can compete with the ejector airtime you can find on coasters like Twisted Timbers. It's that strong. As you watch it in real time, you're just amazed that the train doesn't just fly off the track. This leads into a tight upward spiral ascent with strong forces that might offer the only moment of catching your breath on other coasters. However, on Wonder Woman, it flies hard on this turnaround, and it's a joy to watch off-ride. It's just a testament to the thrilling, non-stop nature of Wonder Woman. At the end of the turnaround is another great airtime opportunity that is followed by a cutback that counts as its second inversion. It's the weakest of the 3 total inversions, but that's okay because the best is right after. This corkscrew, as it's advertised, feels like a 0G roll you typically feel on other RMCs. Let me tell you, 0G rolls are probably my favorite inversion. On Velocicoaster, it makes you feel as though it's trying to throw you into the water below. On Wonder Woman, it feels like you're hanging or flying through the element, and it's my personal favorite moment on this attraction. Following this is a quick turnaround into the brake run, and finally, you have a moment to reflect on what you just experienced. After the lift hill, the ride is a quick 34 seconds. However, while the coaster doesn't have the length, it knows how to make an experience in those 34 seconds. Airtime, laterals, positive Gs, it has it all within its 1,800 feet of track. It's short, but that's okay. If you do what you came to do and deliver, that's fine. The speed on this tiny footprint of track makes it difficult to film in real time, and I actually had to depend on slow motion to capture this beast. However, watching it in real time from a distance is a treat. It's unlike anything else out there, and I'd love to see what other spaghetti bowl-like Raptor track models they have up their sleeve. With all of this high praise, there's a few tiny flaws. Let's talk about a few minor criticisms I have for this coaster. For one, the seat configuration is unique. Due to its single rail design, riders are forced to spread their legs apart as you sit over the track. That is fine, but throughout the ride, my heel bones clanked along the side of the hard trough for your legs. I don't see anyone else complaining about this. Perhaps my ankles are deformed with bones sticking out, or others have just not had any problems with it. On my first ride, I got too distracted making sure my legs were spreading apart to create space between my heels and the sides of the train. This forced me to try and press my legs and feet into the bottom of the train to keep things in place. And for a coaster that specializes in airtime, this is a problem. Next time, I'll just wear long, extra padded socks to solve this problem. Another minor issue was the shoulder restraints. This thrill coaster has a Category 5 restraint system with 2 points of contact on your lap and shoulders. The lap bar over your lap is fine, but if you marathon this coaster throughout the day, your shoulders are going to be sore. I really shouldn't complain too much because this probably lowers the minimum height requirement required for this ejector Airtime machine. Another tiny drawback is the capacity. At best, it can do 600 riders per hour. Due to being a single file seating arrangement, each train can only take 8 riders per circuit. However, on the day of my visit, there was one row that was closed off, and uneven groups could contribute to the last row not being occupied, meaning some trains could only have 5 to 6 people. Luckily, there's 3 trains that are constantly being unloaded and loaded within the station, and the crew hauls riders in and out with ease. There's always a train going up the lift hill before the previous train hits the brake run. Still, I'd recommend hitting this one early in case lines are moving slow due to capacity issues. With that said, as a single rider, I was able to get multiple re-rides within the station because of an empty row or 2 in the back. Lastly, the theming is minimal. You're greeted by an archway of Greek origin with a statue of Wonder Woman welcoming eager riders. There's also a Parthenon-like structure that houses the switchbacks along with the same clone statue of Diana surrounded by pillars and flames. The minimal theming is surprising for an attraction that's at Fiesta Texas, but I'll let the actual ride do the talking. Fortunately, this coaster is in arguably the best Six Flags park in the chain if you're a fan of operations, quality attractions, and theming. I mean, come on, this park was built within a quarry. That alone separates this park from the rest. Supposedly, this park just invested in renovations on Wonder Woman, focusing on the trains. Past riders had complained about jankiness and roughness a few years after the coaster had opened, but there's no jankiness to be found anymore. It's not glass smooth, but it's still pleasant and by no means unrideable. The overall package of Six Flags Fiesta Texas with coasters such as Wonder Woman, Superman, Iron Rattler, and Dr. D's Cliffhanger make this a destination park worth trekking to. Once you arrive, make your way to the southeastern section of the park and find yourself entangled in truth on Wonder Woman's Golden Lasso coaster. If you enjoyed this coaster review video, I'd love to have you along for the ride, so don't forget to subscribe or hit that like button. See you in the next video.